Wait, you're a Bears fan and you're not subscribed to my channel? Before this video starts, make sure to 1. Hit the subscribe button below to catch all Bears content right here on this podcast. 2. Hit the bell notification because you, my friend, are a diehard Bears fan. And 3. Like this video and tell all the Bears fans you know about the channel. Alright, that's better. Now that you're actually subscribed to the channel, make sure to bear down and enjoy this video.
Now this is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan.
That boy is Benny Hunter.
Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. You talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down, bear down.
So, Bears fans, it has finally happened. After the Chicago Bears' very thorough search for their brand new GM, it has finally come to an end as Adam Schefter reports that the Chicago Bears are finalizing a deal to make Ryan Poles the next GM of the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to say it first here on the podcast. I am super pumped about this hire. The more and more I read about Ryan Poles, the more and more I loved this guy to be our next GM of the Chicago Bears. And I feel like all you guys should be super excited about this move as well. I have a lot of confidence in what Ryan Poles is going to bring to the table. And it's no coincidence that this morning there was a video that surfaced out that George McCaskey picked up Ryan Poles from the airport, picked up his luggage from the baggage claim, and drove him back to Hallis Hall. That should have been every indication that Ryan Poles was going to be the next GM of the Chicago Bears. Ryan Poles is an experienced evaluator who knows how to craft a winning organization, and I have a lot of confidence that he's going to be able to bring that winning mentality that he got from Kansas City and craft that same mentality in Chicago and for Justin Fields. I'm just super pumped about this hire. And plus, something that I want to mention is that every mentor that he's worked with stressed offensive line, and that's the exact same thing Ryan Poles stressed while he was in Kansas City. Obviously, if you date back to last year's Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers absolutely demolished the Kansas City Chiefs. What did Ryan Poles do the following year? Got Patrick Mahomes a lot of offensive line help, and that is something that I feel like he's going to do in Chicago for Justin Fields in order for Fields to take that next step as Chicago's franchise signal caller. So now we can stop stressing about GM. Do you guys like the hire, though? I know I'm ecstatic for Ryan Poles, but do you guys like the hire? Let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to talk to you guys about the Chicago Bears finalizing a deal to make Ryan Poles the new GM of the Chicago Bears. So let's talk about something else before I let you guys go, though. The real question that I want to know is that will the McCaskies force him to hire the coach that they like, or will they give Ryan Poles the reins to hire the coach that he wants for the Chicago Bears? According to Adam Schefter, some around the league believe Chicago will pair Jim Caldwell with newly hired GM Ryan Poles. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think Jim Caldwell is the best option, but I also don't think he is the worst option. When you look what he was able to do in Detroit and able to lead them to a couple of winning seasons. The man got fired after a 9-7 year by the Detroit Lions. After the Detroit Lions fired Jim Caldwell, the Detroit Lions have been absolutely terrible. So obviously there's been reports that he's been a front runner. Obviously he's already a finalist for the job. There's a connection between Ryan Poles and Jim Caldwell. So if this is the direction that they go, I would be okay with that. But I just want to ensure that this is what Ryan Poles wants to do. If Ryan Poles wants Jim Caldwell as the next Chicago Bears head coach, that is fine with me. But if it's the McCaskies trying to influence Ryan Poles to hire him, that's when I have an issue with it. You are hiring Ryan Poles as the next GM to run the football operations for the Chicago Bears. Let Ryan Poles make the decision. If he doesn't want Jim Caldwell, and let's say that he wants Brian Flores, which Ryan Poles also has connections with Brian Flores, let Ryan Poles make that decision. The McCaskies needs to sit back. He just needs to be an owner of the Chicago Bears. He doesn't need anything to do with who the next head coach is going to be. I'm so excited and so happy that they actually hired a GM before the head coach. So now it's up to Ryan Poles to decide. Do you want Jim Caldwell? Do you want Matt Eberflus? Or do you maybe want Brian Flores? Or maybe Brian Dable comes back into the picture? Let Ryan Poles take care of who he thinks the next head coach of the Chicago Bears should be. And me as a fan, that would make me a whole lot happier. But there's also been rumblings is that Jim Caldwell is also at Hallis Hall today. So I'm not sure if those go hand in hand, that they plan this out, that Ryan Poles is going to get hired today, and then they're going to let Ryan Poles hire Jim Caldwell on the same day. We will have to wait and see. But as of now, the Chicago Bears got their man, and Ryan Poles is going to be the next GM of the Chicago Bears, and I cannot wait to see what he's able to do in Chicago. But before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content around the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.